Hi, I'm David, or just David, or Yo David, or David. I go by a lot of names, but you could call me either one of those. I do art and draw, so if you like that, consider subscribing and liking the video, pretty please, with a cherry on top. So yeah, now back to Slugterra. When I was a kid, I loved to draw. I still do. I mean, you can see it right now. I draw, I still draw, I used to draw, I did a lot of art things. But one thing that kept me entertained while I was drawing in the background was cartoons. I would watch cartoons, like a shit ton. Things like Pokemon, Beyblade, Adventure Time, any other shows, regular show. I could fuck up some regular show. But there's one show that I watched when I was a kid, a Canadian show made for kids in 2012 called Slugterra. Slugterra premiered on Disney XD, made by Ashton Flippix. I don't really know how to pronounce it, so I'm just gonna put up a clip.
By Aces 50.
The show revolves around slugs being shot out of guns. Yes, it's a weird concept, I know. But like Pokemon, they kind of have types, like elemental types. There's like fire, earth, life, like a bunch of different ones. Water as well. The water ones have been some of my cool, like in my opinion, the coolest. But they're like Pokemon, and basically whenever they get shot out of a gun, they go 100 miles per hour, and they become like a bigger version of the slug. Slugterra ran for 4 seasons, 63 episodes in total, and 6 movies. For a show in 2012, it was pretty good. The CGI, the storytelling, extremely good. To be fair, there was like some animation errors, but other than that, I really enjoyed it. The premise of the show was about a kid named Eli Shane turning 15 and going to the underground and following his dad's footsteps. Also, his dad's like a slug slinger who's become like, I guess, pretty famous for being almost like a cop type figure. He just basically stands for what's right, and Eli wants to follow in those footsteps. When Eli finally makes it to the underground, he encounters a mountain mole named Pronto. He kind of just shows him and talks about his dad, how famous he is, to like give the audience kind of like a gist about Eli's like family lineage, which is kind of cool in my opinion. It's like story building or world building. Pronto is just like the comedic relief of the group, I guess. So Pronto kind of just asks Eli, "I want to see all your slugs," and Eli doesn't really have any except for Burpee, which is kind of like the mascot that Eli's dad left him. He's like the mascot of the show. In order to get more slugs, Eli enters a competition where he actually manages to win some slugs. Basically, at the competition, it just sets up for a little bit more world building, where there's a bunch of different other characters and like with different backstories. Like there's a girl named Trixie, who she is actually like a really talented slug slinger. She's kind of like a journalist, where she documents and videotapes most of like the, I guess, mishaps or like the bad things that happen in the caverns. While there's also a cave troll, Cord, who's more like the tech savvy guy who knows like what exactly they need for a specific, like, I guess, upgrade or a way how to become stronger. In my opinion, both Zane and Eli are the coolest because they're just kind of like, I guess, the coolest in my opinion. Like, they're bitching. Basically, all 4 of them like band together or like make a group named the Shang Gang. It's kind of a weird name, yeah. Shang Gang. It kind of rhymes too. So, but basically, they all make a group to defeat the main villain, which is Dr. Black. He kind of like corrupts slugs, turning them into like ghouls. At like first we don't know how he's doing it. It's just hinted at with like some little like black dust, or I guess, but it's actually just vapor from something called dark water. It's just the way how he corrupts the slugs. And it's kind of like messed up because you can see like the slugs actually fearing for their life. Some ghouls look better than other slugs in my opinion, but like no matter what, Burpee's my top, like, I guess, favorite slug in the whole show. But the ghoul version of Burpee is extremely cool to me, where he has like the teal flames, a black body. It's cool as fuck to me. I actually really like that version of Burpee. After the show premiered on like Disney XD, or during its premiere, I guess, it actually grew a lot in popularity to the point where they decided to make more games, or like video games for the show. Most of them were like Flash games, so they vary in quality, but I still kind of play one of them just because I just want to, and it's kind of fun. There's like a bunch of them. There's like 8 games of them, 8 different games, which in my opinion is a shit ton, but I tried all of them when I was a kid, and I only like 2 of them. So the games that they actually like made are all called Slugterra Slug It Out, Slugterra Slug It Out 2, Battle for Slugterra, Slugterra Dark Waters, Slugterra Slug Slinger Showdown, Slug Life, Slug Wars, Slugterra VR, and most of them are unplayable. But the cool ones that I actually really like are the Slugterra Slug It Out, because, well, it's just a puzzle game, but there's like a story and it actually like goes with the show. So when I was a kid, that was like my shit. I would be at the mall, my mom would be like telling me to stop being on my phone as I walked and bumped into people, but I'll be playing that shit all the time. The main part of the show was all for toys. They tried creating toys for everything, for all shows. So Slugterra was mainly made to sell toys to kids. So there were like Nerf guns with like the ammo was Slugterra theme, where they kind of look like slugs. It was kind of shitty in my opinion, but my friend, he has one, so it's kind of cool in my opinion, like just to have to put up on a wall. But they had minifigures as well, where they came in like two minifigures in a packet, where it had either a slug and a slug and a ghoul, or like ghouls and ghouls. It was a lot. There's a lot of them. They also made plushies, but the plushies are kind of expensive. Like, some of them go for like $100, other for like $18. I seen some sell for $100, but they all look like shit. They all look like funny as fuck. So I kind of want to get some, but they're kind of expensive sometimes, depending on the one that you get. But yeah, in my opinion, they could have done a better job in making the toys and like actually, I guess, fleshing out the toys a little bit more than just plushies and little minifigures and a shitty Nerf gun. But I guess for that era, it was like enough. So yeah. Slugterra even had like an evolution gimmick, like how Pokemon have evolutions, but they were a little bit different. They just basically gained more stripes and sometimes some different like variations. The tornado one, there's a tornado slug. It's cool as shit in my opinion. Whenever he like ghoul, normal, or even like this evolution, it's one of my favorite slugs, period. He kind of like changes a lot, but the way how the evolution gimmick works is that whenever the slugs hit 200 miles per hour, they actually transform into something called a Megamorph. Yeah, it's that fucking cool. Megamorph. Megamorphs were alright, but they even had a better gimmick, or I guess not gimmick, kinda gimmick. It's legendaries, like legendary Pokemon, but legendary slugs. They're called elemental slugs. They were like the first of their kind. So like the first earth type, the first water type, the first fire type, the first life, first air. There were like 5 of them. And it actually turns out that the main character is a slug that he gains at like episode 3. It actually turns out to be one of the god slugs, or the elemental slugs. He has the ability to heal anything, and it's kind of cool, but it was a little bit like unexpected, because at first he was just like a god, then he became like nerfed into some little shitty slug, and then he got turned into a god again. The whole part with that slug it's a little bit weird to me, but it was pretty cool. Other than that, Slugterra still posts on their YouTube channel. They have like 1 million subscribers, but they barely like get over 1,000 views on their videos, which it's kind of sad to see, because, well, they're still just posting more and more and more, and it's slowly dying. But Slugterra, for when it came out, it was amazing in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. You could go watch all the episodes on YouTube. It was on Netflix at one point, I remember, but I don't think it's on Netflix anymore. In my opinion, Slugterra was such a good show. Make your kids watch it. It shows a lot of good things. I really enjoyed watching Slugterra. It was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. It's semi-active, like the fan base is kind of active, like Reddit. If you're watching this video, then I guess it's semi-active, I guess, as well. But I hope you enjoyed my video on Slugterra. Bye!